Hi people. So today I'm going to discuss about the Cracker Barrel recent backlash that has happened because of its logo redesign. For disclaimer, I'm not here to criticize anyone or anything about it, but I just want to share my understanding of the current situation. Okay, so let's begin. Firstly, let's understand about what Cracker Barrel stands for and what it has been always standing for. So, Cracker Barrel was founded in 1969 by Dan Evans, whose primary aim was to sell oil. The idea was to open Cracker Barrel stores on the highway itself so that it acts as a store which sells oil and food and drink and a resting place for those weary drivers who have been driving for kilometers and they have no place to rest, but then they'll know that after 2 or 4 hours they'll get to see a Cracker Barrel store where they can fill their oil tanks and eat good food, drink a little bit, and also rest. So the primary aim of Cracker Barrel was to act as a multi-purpose store, that is for oil, for gas, for food, drink, and restrooms. Okay, but after the oil embargo happened in USA, instead of shutting down the entire store, they shifted their focus from selling oils to now expanding their food menu and beverage and becoming a unique shopping experience store. So that was the new aim of Cracker Barrel. Okay, so gradually Cracker Barrel stores became a place of social gatherings where people would come after long hours of driving and they would just sit back, they would eat good food and drink, and they would discuss about things, news, and they would gossip with their friends. Many families would come after a long week and would just sit back with their family and relax. Okay, so gradually Cracker Barrel became a home away from home. You see, like if you're driving on highway and for sure there won't be any store but only a Cracker Barrel store. So people would be so much eagerly waiting for that store to come, and that entire trip would become an experience with Cracker Barrel, as they would just stop by, they would grab some hot food, drink a beverage, and just relax there. Okay, so it was also like an escape for many people. In a fast moving world like today, Cracker Barrel had a theme where time felt slower, and it had all the things. For example, it used actual barrels that were placed on the front porch. There were rocking chairs placed on the front porch and also inside the barrel stores. So, and barrels were essentially the only water coolers of that time. There was no such technology like air conditioners or coolers. So, barrels were actually used as air conditioning and cooling the surrounding. Even barrels were used for transiting their food good so that they don't break in between. The rocking chairs always conveyed a feeling of just sit back and relax and let your tensions go away for a while. Okay, so the entire theme was based on that. It felt like you're just escaping the fast self-eccentric world into a small world where you can just live in the history like it used to happen those retro vibes, and you could feel that old countryside vibes because of the theme Cracker Barrel had. So the initial logo they made, it was not just a logo, it told the entire story. For example, it had the initial logo consisted of that Uncle Herschel, which is not actually Uncle Herschel, but let's assume it's Uncle Herschel and he's sitting next to a barrel, and then the logo type, it is embedded actually in a bean shaped emblem. It is not just a random shape. If you research a little, you will know that the emblem in which Cracker Barrel logo type is enclosed is a bean shaped, which was very intentionally made because during old times they had a signature side dish made up of pinto beans, which was very famous during that time. So instead of enclosing their logo type in any shaped emblem, they chose that bean shaped. So you see, the old logo has too much of character. Like every design element, every character had a meaning. The bean shaped emblem, the barrels, it was used everywhere. That Uncle Herschel thing in an old timer overall, that it all felt like those retro, slow, countryside, village like vibes. Okay, so people loved it. It was like an escape from the fast moving world. It's like when people just saw their logo, they could just tap into a world where they can experience all those nostalgia and memories again and again. And it felt so familiar and comfortable to people that instead of just becoming a brand of commodity and services, it became their childhood nostalgia or their reservoir of memories, which obviously people don't want to change. So now if we talk about the redesign that happened very recently, so in the logo redesign they removed all the elements that were signature to that brand. For example, let's talk about the signature elements of Cracker Barrel first. It was the barrels. Okay, so barrels were actually used everywhere for cooling and for transiting their food goods. Okay, then Uncle Herschel in those old timer clothes that represented the retro countryside vibes. Okay, that was a very important feature of Cracker Barrel. Then they had that bean shaped emblem, which was very intentionally put. It was not any redundant shape without meaning. So in the redesign that happened, they have removed everything. So now there is no bean shaped, which reminded of a signature dish. Now there it is just a hexagon which has no meaning at all. At first I thought that it is a silhouette of that barrel shape, but it's not actually barrel shape. It is just a rounded hexagon. So it does not convey any meaning. Even Uncle Herschel is removed from the logo. That meant everything to the brand. We have no Uncle Herschel now. And then even the barrels are removed. That is part and parcel of Cracker Barrel. So it's just like erasing all the memories and nostalgia for people. And humans are emotionally driven. A brand can't be made, or brand is not a brand because it sells some sort of great services or products to people. It's a brand because people feel something about it. People feel something when they buy it, when they go into it. As far as I can understand, uh, for people it's like Cracker Barrel is like a community where they belong, a community where they can just tap onto that history of countryside vibes. It's their community of nostalgia and old memories, and those consistent familiar vibes that has always been an escape for them. So obviously if you are erasing everything from their memory, if you are taking away Uncle Herschel, the barrel, the bean shaped emblem, so it's like you're taking away their community of nostalgia and memory. Obviously, who wants to give up on their good old memories and nostalgic feelings? No one wants to give up on that. And that's why the backlash has happened so widely. It is so massive. It's because of that. I think what's my take from this experience or from this event is that some brands won't go without their signature elements. For example, if you know Amul brand, there is no Amul brand without that little girl licking butter. That if you remove that little girl from Amul logo or Amul brand, that's no more Amul. That is just another corporate dairy brand. Okay, if you know Pringles, there is no Pringles without that potato mascot logo on the packet. Like, it's not Pringle anymore if that mascot is not there. Same way, if you take Uncle Chips, there is no familiar Uncle Chips without that Uncle Cowboy mascot on it. So some things are very much signature to some brands which are there since so long. For example, Cracker Barrel, it's not a corporate or a multinational company. It has been built out of legacy. It is a heritage brand, and for heritage brand, it is so very important to preserve and to restore their signature elements, because once those signature elements go, like, the entire legacy, the entire authenticity of the brand is erased. And people connect to those brands not because of the services, not only because of the services they provide, but because of the feeling they inculcate into people, a feeling of community, a feeling of belonging. You get what I'm saying? Like, Cracker Barrel was a place and is a place for people where they can just go and everything will feel familiar, everything will feel so nostalgic, everything would feel so old and countryside. It is just so relaxing. So when you are completely erasing all the signature elements from the logo, the people are psychologically threatened that the brand is taking away their sense of comfort, their world of comfort from that. So that's what I understood about it, and that's why people have revolted so much on internet, and their sales have went down so badly. But that's my take from it. If a brand wants to evolve with time, it should keep in mind that the signature, especially the heritage and the legacy brands that have been built for so many years, they should keep in mind to evolve those signature elements as well accordingly. And after the backlash happened, as you all know, Cracker Barrel has again went back to their old logo, and it is again preserving its signature elements, because it also realized it can't go anywhere without Uncle Herschel and those old barrels in the logo, because it's a story people don't want to change. That's how I feel about it. And let me know in the comment section, what do you feel about rebrand? Like, is removing all the signature and the legacy elements from the brand is worth the risk? What do you feel? Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.